From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version, this 130th day of the year, today we are reading passages 1 Chronicles 28-29, 2 Chronicles 1, 2 Chronicles chapter 1, verses 1 to 17. Solomon, the son of David, established himself in his kingdom, and the Lord his God was with him, and made him exceedingly great. Solomon spoke to all Israel, to the commanders of thousands, of hundreds, to the judges, to every leader in all Israel, and to the heads of the families. And Solomon and all the assembly with him went to the high place at Gibeon, for there was the tent of meeting of God, which Moses the servant of the Lord had made in the wilderness. But David had brought up the ark of God from Kiriath-Jearim to the place that he had prepared for it, for he had pitched a tent for it in Jerusalem. However, the bronze altar, which Bezalel the son of Uri, son of Hur, had made, was there before the tabernacle of the Lord. And Solomon and the assembly sought it out. And Solomon went up there to the bronze altar before the Lord, at the tent of meeting, and offered 1,000 burnt offerings upon it. In that night God appeared to Solomon, and said to him, "Ask what I shall give you." And Solomon said to God, "You have shown great mercy to David my father, and have made me king in his place. O Lord God, let your word to David my father be confirmed, for you have made me king over a people as numerous as the dust of the earth. Give me now wisdom and knowledge to go out and come in before this people, for who can rule this your great people?" And God said to Solomon, "Because this was in your heart, and you have not asked riches or possessions or honor or the life of your enemies, or even long life for yourself, but have asked wisdom and knowledge for yourself, behold, I now do according to your word. Behold, I give you a wise and discerning mind, so that none like you has been before you, and none like you shall arise after you. I give you also what you have not asked, both riches and honor, so that no king shall compare with you all your days. And if you will walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and my commandments, as your father David walked, then I will lengthen your days." And Solomon obtained riches and wisdom, as no king before him in Jerusalem. And Solomon gathered chariots and horsemen. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen, whom he stationed in the chariot cities, and with the king in Jerusalem. And the king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar as common as the sycamore of the lowland. 1 Chronicles chapter 28, verses 1 to 21. And David assembled all the leaders of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the commanders of the divisions that served the king, and the commanders of thousands, and the commanders of hundreds, and the commanders of all the wealth and possessions of the king and his sons, with the palace officials, the mighty men, and all the warriors, to Jerusalem. Then the king stood up in his place and said, "Hear me, my brethren and my people. I had it in my heart to build a house of rest for the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and for the footstool of our God, and I made preparations for building. But God said to me, You shall not build a house for my name, because you are a man of war and have shed blood. Yet the Lord God of Israel chose me from all my father's house to be king over Israel forever. For he chose Judah as leader, and in the house of Judah my father's house, and among my father's sons he took pleasure in me to make me king over all Israel. And of all my sons, for the Lord has given me many sons, he has chosen Solomon my son to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel. And he said to me, Solomon your son, he shall build my house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. I will establish his kingdom forever if he continues to do my commandments and my ordinances, as at this day. Now therefore in the sight of all Israel, the assembly of the Lord, and in the hearing of our God, observe and seek out all the commandments of the Lord your God, that you may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. And you, Solomon my son, know the God of your father, and serve him with a whole heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts, and understands every plan and thought. If you seek him, he will be found by you, but if you forsake him, he will cast you off forever. Consider now, for the Lord has chosen you to build a house for the sanctuary. Be strong, and do it. Then David gave Solomon his son the plan of the porch of the temple, and its houses, its treasuries, its upper chambers, and its inner rooms, and the room for the mercy seat, and the plan of all that he had in mind for the courts of the house of the Lord, and for all the surrounding chambers, for the treasuries of the house of God, and for the treasuries for dedicated gifts, for the divisions of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service in the house of the Lord, and for all the vessels for service in the house of the Lord, the gold weights for the golden vessels, the gold weights for the vessels of silver, and the gold weights for the vessels of bronze, the weight in gold for each golden lamp, and the weight in silver for each silver lamp, according to the use of each lamp, and the weight of gold for the tables for the showbread, the silver for the tables of silver, and the forks, the basins, the pitchers, the bowls, and the cups of gold, and of silver. And the golden altar of incense, and the gold for the model of the chariot, that is, the cherubim that spread their wings and covered the ark of the covenant of the Lord. All this he made clear to me in writing from the hand of the Lord, when he made me understand all the works of these patterns. And David said to Solomon his son, Be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, be not dismayed, for the Lord God, even my God, is with you. He will not fail you or forsake you, until all the work for the service of the house of the Lord is finished. And the divisions of the Levites are given to you for all the service of the house of God, and there shall be with you for every kind of workmanship, every skilled man for any service. Also the chief officers and all the people will be wholly at your service. 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verses 1-30. And King David said to all the assembly, Solomon my son, whom alone God has chosen, is yet young and inexperienced, and the work is great. For the palace is not for man, but for the Lord God. So I have provided for the house of my God, as far as I was able, gold for the gold work, silver for the silver work, bronze for the bronze work, iron for the iron work, and wood for the woodwork, and onyx stones and inlaid stones, and antimony and stones of various colors, and all kinds of precious stones, and marble in abundance. Moreover, because I delight in the house of my God, since the treasury I have of my own special mountain of gold and silver, I give it to the house of my God, besides all that I have provided for the holy house, 3,000 talents of the gold of Ophir, and 7,000 talents of refined silver, for overlaying the walls of the house, and for all the work to be done by the craftsmen, gold and silver given by the king in abundance. Who then is willing to consecrate himself this day to the Lord? Then the leaders of the fathers' houses, the leaders of the tribes of Israel, and the commanders of thousands and of hundreds, with the officials of the king's service, gave willingly for the service of the house of God, 5,000 talents and 10,000 darics of gold, 10,000 talents of silver, 18,000 talents of bronze, and 100,000 talents of iron. And those who had precious stones gave them to the treasury of the house of the Lord, in the care of Jehiel the Gershonite. And the people rejoiced because they had offered willingly, for with a whole heart they had offered freely to the Lord. And King David also rejoiced greatly. Therefore David blessed the Lord in the presence of all the assembly. And David said, Blessed be you, O Lord, the God of Israel our Father, for ever and ever. Yours, O Lord, is the greatness, and the power, and the glory, and the victory, and the majesty. For all that is in the heavens and in the earth is yours. Yours is the kingdom, O Lord, and you are exalted as head above all. Both riches and honor come from you, and you rule over all. In your hand are power and might, and in your hand it is to make great and to give strength to all. And now we thank you, our God, and praise your glorious name. But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able thus to offer willingly? For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you. For we are strangers before you, and sojourners, as all our fathers were. Our days on the earth are like a shadow, and there is no abiding. O Lord our God, all this abundance that we have provided to build you a house for your holy name comes from your hand, and all of it is yours. I know also, my God, that you try the heart and have pleasure in uprightness. With uprightness of heart I have freely offered all these things, and now I have seen with joy your people who are present here, offering willingly to you. O Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, our fathers, keep this forever in the imagination of the thoughts of the hearts of your people, and direct their hearts toward you. And give to my son Solomon a whole heart, that he may keep your commandments, your testimonies, and your statutes, and to do all these, and to build the temple for which I have provided. Then David said to all the assembly, Blessed be the Lord your God. And all the assembly blessed the Lord, the God of their fathers, and bowed their heads and worshipped the Lord and the king. And they offered sacrifices to the Lord, and sacrificed peace offerings to the Lord, and all Israel offered sacrifices of well-being to the king. And they ate and drank before the Lord on that day with great gladness. And they made Solomon the son of king a second time, and anointed him as ruler for the Lord, and Zadok as priest. Then Solomon sat on the throne of the Lord as king instead of David his father, and prospered, and all Israel obeyed him. And all the princes, the mighty men, and all the sons of King David pledged allegiance to Solomon the king. And the Lord highly exalted Solomon in the sight of all Israel, and bestowed upon him royal majesty, which had not been bestowed upon any king before him in Israel. Thus David the son of Jesse reigned over all Israel. The time that he reigned over Israel was 40 years. He reigned in Hebron 7 years, and in Jerusalem 33 years. Then he died at a good age, full of days, riches, and honor, and Solomon his son reigned in his stead. Now the acts of King David, first and last, are written in the book of Samuel the seer, and in the book of Nathan the prophet, and in the book of Gad the seer, with his entire reign and his might, and the times that went over him, and over Israel, and over all the kingdoms of the earth.